I lost my way. The buildings looked alike. Everything about the street where I was very much like everything else. So I lost my way. Moved the street up and down. An old lady complained, there are two black men here. They are moving the street. Would like to know who they are. The police approached us. In every sense, they thought these were African criminals on the street. But they were so polite in their approach. They asked if we had a problem. They asked for our papers. Even when they were asking very firmly, they were very polite. When we presented the papers, they said, oh, actually, a resident thought you had a problem. Can we help? We said, we've lost our way. The police put us in their van and delivered us to where we had passed about 3 times without recognizing. I said, okay, this is the place where you're going at. And it felt so richly relieving. And they gave us cards and said, if you lose your way the next time, please stab this one into the phone booth and call the police who will help. And I was thinking, wow, okay, if I went to Kampala on one of the streets and tapped the gentleman at the corner and said, where is Mackinnon Road? I've lost my way. What would I be asked? What are the chances that I wouldn't end up at CPS? There was one that asked where the Parliament of Uganda was, and he was straight away charged with terrorism. David, the police at 100.
The police at 100, definitely, I've come across very fine officers at individual levels. And they are there, and the expertise they exude, and the civility, and their personal ideas are really great. And at the personal level, you meet them on the street, like the traffic police, and they're really courteous. They're really, those that I've met, the moment you say, my name is David Pulkol, they really, the kind of respect that they show. But I don't know whether it is given also to other people, other citizens of the country, but at the personal level. But unfortunately, we have organizational psychosis and madness of institutions. And I think that's what the police is suffering from.
Of a nation of institutions.
Many, you know, whereas many good people are inside there. But as the police now developed a capacity as an institution to resist the bad habits, the bad behavior, the bad practices which hinge on breaking the law brought by those who lead the force. For example, under Katumba Wamala, what character did the police take? Under Kosio Domel, what character did the police take? Now under Kale Kaihura, sorry, is it Kale Kaihura?
Kaihura, yes.
Yes, I must be very careful.
But what did you say?
I must be very careful because...
You said Kaihura, as in horror?
Because also...
Okay, I missed that.
That's the point I'm making, actually.
Okay.
Because these days, the way the police unleashes horror on citizens, it devalues the good things that they really do.
So you're looking for the name horror.
So I don't know whether because of horror police. So where is the Uganda police that before it became a Kaihura police, unleashing horror on its citizens? I know Kaihura as an individual. It's a different fine officer. I've seen him grow as a lieutenant, as captain, as lieutenant colonel. It's been a fine officer. I've seen him grow, even as a military assistant to the president. But is there something in the police that when an individual comes there, is it the uniform? Is it the what? So for me, I'm saying that at 100, you would expect an institution which is 100 years old. Because that's about the time when cotton was introduced in Uganda by B.K. Barup in 1903.
The cotton has died.
The cotton has died.
Now,
that's what I was saying.
Now, today, we are saying from colonial policing, I think Uganda is back to the colonial situation, in my view. At colonial time, there were only very few in very good schools, 2,800 something junior and above. And education was only for the rich and children of chiefs and kings and so forth. So today, we have a similar situation where the children of the poor are going to poor schools where they don't go far. Okay? while the children of the rich go to be taught by different teachers. We're back in the colonial situation. At colonial time, there was no railway, there was no train going to Pakwach. We are back in that situation. There is no train even moving now. It's even worse, actually.
Okay, David,
Now,
I
I'm
may
coming back.
inform you
I'm coming
that
back.
the chief executive of the country recently signed a deal
I'm
and
coming
said
back.
with the
That's
12
another-
trillion, you have a railway going to operate within 3 years from today.
Last year and last year before that, they put a budget that our army was going to be involved in railway. What became of that budget? Approved by Parliament. It was there in the budget speech. And the president talked in the State of Sleeping Nation address. Okay? And they were all there dozing. So all these promises have been made before. But I'm saying, for a government that came to power and found a railway line moving and trains moving, I found planes of Uganda Airlines moving, and now taking us back. And there was no commercial, UCB was not there. But our papas put these things there. They built the country. But these people have come, they have destroyed, they have brought us back to colonial time, when there was no cooperatives at colonial time. But now these people came, they found cooperatives, they have destroyed it, they have sold the cooperative bank, they have taken us back to the colonial days, where produce is being taken by middlemen at no price.
David,
and
David,
they're
hold
policing
on.
at that
Hold
time
on, David.
and policing
David,
now.
Let me see how that relates to the notion of policing.
It's today's theme is saying from colonial policing to community policing. Before you even come to community policing, where are we now? Are there similarities of the colonial time and now? They are policing exactly at the state.
The statement is a
And I'm
recognition.
saying-
Statement is a
and I'm
recognition.
saying, yeah, let me come back on
that
this.
we are actually at colonial policing, but the mission,
Listen.
the vision, is to move to a community policing.
In colonial time, there were laws like preventive arrest.
Yes.
Didn't we see the Kaihura police even applying this on Kizza Besigye? So are we really, have we left the colonial policing? Or we are still there? And I'm saying the situation on the ground, at colonial time, it was IBA company, which was in charge of
IBEA,
IBEA. So it was private sector driven, and we are back there, where individual interests preside over those of the nation. So policing for who? For these thieves
For the
who are in
nation.
charge of the state?
For the nation.
Now, if you see what they're displaying now, it's about VIP. It's about those motorcade. But you say now that we want to demonstrate and take, still Makere wants to take a memorandum to the Speaker of Parliament. Can those motorcycles be used to escort people who are going to take a memorandum to protest to the Parliament? It would be easier.
Or can
But
they
those
be
things
used-
are not available for the ordinary people. They are available for those who rule. So to me, it is still by and large from that character, still for the privileged few. The policing is for the privileged few. Because when you steal a chicken, you are arrested immediately, 2.5 years in prison. But when you steal billions, your case is always still being investigated. So and another thing about the current police, I'm saying that there are good things they are doing, but there are bad things which tend to give them a bad name. And this is what they need to watch. Because now,
If you put them on a scale.
for example,
If
now,
you put them on a scale.
for example, now, does the institution, okay, I think I'm being distracted here now. The point I'm making here is that when you look at the respect,
It's because you are not
the influence, no, the influence, the trust, the confidence they radiate from the public. And then when you have just trusted them, then they throw bombs into, tear gas even to children. You see women, you see innocents coming. Look at what happened in Kasese, in Bundibujo. Does that look like a police? Is that the way they handle suspects? And our police
Possibly
today,
that wasn't their terrain.
Our
It was
police,
supposed to be the
our
army.
police today,
The problem with David today, why he's distracted,
Our police
he's using
today-
a yellow pen and a yellow book pad.
No,
so
no,
he's
listen.
moving.
Yeah, it should have been a red news here when we were sitting. But listen, you're actually the ones distracting. Because the point I'm making here is that, for example, how police handle suspects. Today you are arrested by police, you're already condemned. The way they come with the
Actually,
media,
the Inspector General of Police
the way
this
they
week
come with
said
the media,
that he would rather we had the French mode of the
Oh my
laws,
God.
that you're guilty until you prove innocence.
So they're applying a different constitution. And one thing about our police just like Electoral Commission and the judiciary. Those three institutions are very key in Uganda moving forward. If things go wrong, it will be because of our police, it will be because of our judiciary, it will be because of our Electoral Commission. Fortunately, all the three have the law in their hands. But why they don't apply the law? Why is the police allowing RDCs to misuse them? Why are they allowing, for example, at elections, my car was taken by a DPC. I called the regional police command, and night before election, my phones were taken, and then I tried to call, and they said, no, we are saving you, you go home, you are going to be attacked. But look, if you are careful about my life, why do you take my car and want me to walk a kilometer away? My car is still in the garage. When I found it was interfered already. But these are things which only God knows. Kanchiriho, who was responsible, who influenced those people, is no more.
They actually saved you.
They have eaten rations or fuel of the army.
They were arrested. They were saving you from yourself.
For me, the
David, I'll hold you there. I'll hold you there. Let me take a break. Viewers, I'm taking a break. When I return from the break,
go extra mile?
I'll hear from Charles Romshana. Of course, I am already getting feedback. Someone says, what does that form of power that Richard Baguma is talking about help in fighting terrorism? How would it help if we are fighting terrorism? And someone else, Lule.
Charles will help me, I am sure.
Lule says, I'm listening to all of you guys, and I find that you're not positive to the force. Is this the same force we had during Amin and Obote? Hasn't it moved over? Kiwalabye Katende, his is interesting. He says the police has certainly moved over. The police that did not vote President Museveni in 1996 and 2001 would give him 100% now. And the president promised that he would change the police. Yes, he has. And then Kisule says, all of you are talking about diversionary tactics. Think about it. Today you had John Kosi Odomel, you had Katumba Wamala, you had Kaihura. 3 generations of the police in one place. And they honored Erinayo, I think he's writing Oriema. And they honored Erinayo Oriema. Isn't that a progressive force, gentlemen? Be appreciative.
They had 3 IGP.
We return.
In a span of that